about 18.5 on it. I was saying, would it be a good idea to kind of sell that like back to a dealer per se for what it's worth? You use some of that money to pay the negative equity, then whatever left, put that towards a car like in cash, just to kind of get off from under that and free some money up and taking care of our debt.
What's your income, sir?
I make about 36 a year. We're working a full-time job and a part-time job as well. And my wife, she stays at home with the kids.
Yeah. Wow, so you have a high interest rate on this car loan.
Yeah.
Bad credit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nasty, nasty deal. Who is the car loan with?
America Honda Financial.
That's not good. Because they're not going to be any help to you. That's why it's not good. Well, what I would do is this. You're going to have to find the other money. Now, the $14,000 in value, did you determine that was private sale at Kelley Blue Book, or was that wholesale?
That was Kelley Blue Book.
On what? Wholesale or retail?
Wholesale for a used vehicle for what it is now.
Okay, well, there's three prices on Kelley Blue Book that it can be. One price is the trade-in value, which is wholesale, what a dealer will pay you. We don't want to do that. We want to sell it for more than that yourself. And so if that's $14,000, you probably can sell the car on Craigslist or something like that for around $15,000 or $16,000 would be my guess.
Okay.
And so that means we got to have less money, but you still got to have the difference because you got to give the bank, Honda, in this case, $18,500. And if you get $15,000 from the buyer, that's going to leave you $3,500 short, and you got to have that money lined up from somewhere. I'm guessing you don't have that saved.
No.
Okay, so that means you got to find a loan for $3,500 somewhere from your local bank or local credit union in order to make this sale happen. And I think it's really, really important that you make this sale happen because it represents a really high interest rate, a really bad deal, plus it's a very, very high car loan given your income. You're right, it is weighing you down. Chris, what else do you see in that?
Yeah, so if you're asking if you should continue to pay for this or get rid of it, I think it's pretty obvious that you need to get rid of it as soon as possible, and that's the way it needs to happen. You need to get some money to pay the difference and dump this thing as much as possible, or as fast as possible. $465 a month when you're making $36,000 a year is crazy, and just as a little bit of an addition to that, car payment ever is crazy.
Yeah, this is true. Brian is in Kansas City. Hey, Brian, your question for Chris and me.
Yeah, hi, Dave and Chris. Hey, it's a pleasure to talk to you. And but I just got a question to you on giving, and specifically on tithing. So we own our own business, and in that business, we take out a salary. We've also loaned the business some money personally, and then we pay ourselves back that. And with the business also has profits. So my question to you, I guess, is from a biblical standpoint, what do we tithe on? Do we tithe on our salary? Also on the profitability of the business? Also on maybe what we pay ourselves back as a kind of a loan repayment? So I'd just like your perspective on that. Yeah. And I'd also be just curious, just one other thing, is you talked about, maybe giving to the next generation, you're in a trust. Do you tithe on that as well? And I'd just be interested in your perspective.
Yeah, Brian, when it comes to a business, you want to pay yourself a fair salary. And then from that fair salary, that's what you're going to tithe from. The rest of the profit for the business isn't profit yet. It's not necessarily realized profit. It's retained earnings. You've got money that's going to be reinvested in equipment or into salaries or into future opportunities. So it's not realized profit yet. So
generally, they're not really good part-time jobs. Most of the time, they're substandard as a part-time job. But there can be an excellent career as long as you know what you're getting into. And what do you add to that, Chris?
Well, I think you've got to make sure you're passionate about it. Make sure you understand what you're doing. And do not front any money. Don't front a ton of money, especially if it's going to be borrowing.
This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Show. Chris Brown's True Stewardship is my guest this hour, answering your questions with me. You can find out more about his show and his blog and the podcast and where it's broadcast and all that kind of stuff at stewardship.com. There's a ton of other information there that's helpful to you. This is a Christian radio show that he does, talking about what the Bible says about money. And you can get the podcast as an automatic subscribe. It's 30 minutes a day, so it's very, very consumable in the sense of if you've got a little short commute, that's perfect for you. Chris Brown's True Stewardship. You can follow him on Twitter at Chris Brown on Air. Chris Brown on Facebook as well. It's facebook.com/Chris Brown on Air. Same thing on Twitter. Same thing on Instagram. Chris Brown on Air. If you want to call into his show, write this number down. 866-357-3283. That's 866-357-3283. Josh is with us in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hey, Josh, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Better than I deserve. Your question for Chris and me.
I'm newly married. I have a new mortgage. And I just started up a personal business. I do like a mobile food service type business. I only do that on the weekends. I work full time during the week. And I'm trying to get my finances in order. And I've been listening to your show about a month, off and on, when I have time, when I'm not working. And I don't even know where to start.
Okay. What's your household income?
My income is about $70,000 plus or minus. A base is $70,000.
Good. So you're making good money. That's good news.
Yes.
Have you got a bunch of debt?
I have my mortgage. I have about $174,000 on it. My other debt is right around $6,300 total.
What's that
I don't have that much other debt other than the house.
What's the $6,300 on?
I have about